Lorenzo. This is a video about the articulation on lightly row and the mill, both in D major hand position with the middle finger on the F sharp, which makes things a little bit harder because you have to do the drop roll using the black key in this case. I'll start with a lightly row, and for this I'll just ignore the metronome, I'll just show the articulation. So one thing about the lightly row is that the left hand basically just plays very flat. Not much happening with the left hand. Right hand is the melody part. There's a lot going on, very expressive. So let me just play the right hand, and as just from the beginning, you already have the drop roll, right? So all of that, it happens every single time. I think you play the lightly row, and smoothly glide, and you do sing and float 3 times. Okay, so that's that one part. And on the second system, smoothly glide on the silent tide. And I think I've also talked about how there are many repeated notes in this song, which make it a little bit tricky, again, because you don't want that to be too short. You don't want to be dragging in, and you want the sounds to stay pretty even, So every time you see that slur curvature, you want to make sure that those are like one group of notes, and the 5 notes D, E, F, G, A. Okay, well, let me play once through, maybe you can hear and, pick up on all of those things. And one more thing I did mention during the lesson is the importance of holding the notes, the longer notes, its full value. Like I'm going to play the second line. And 2 N. So much of the music throughout, like I said, there are no rests in this song, no real rest. Because of the articulation, there will be a few places of silence, like in between those F sharps, and here I have a tendency to not lift my hand in between the lightly row and lightly row, but you can lift your hand up before that so that you can get the drop roll for the second lightly row well. And in that case, if you lift your hand off the key and then you... So there are parts where you are playing almost, not quite staccato, but some of the notes are played low, a little bit shorter than they actually are written. And, that's all part of the articulation. And, this articulation thing is one of those tricky things that you always sort of have to make a decision how best you want to do. Something. Do I want to hold the notes longer? Do I want to make some places smoother? Or do I want to just be hoppy, like, do a little bit of a staccato like articulation? So yeah, think about those things. While the left hand doesn't get drawn into what the right hand is doing. Left hand just keeps it very flat. Whatever the right hand is doing, left hand does its own thing. Okay, so that's the lightly row. So off to the mill, which is same D major position, but completely different because you have so many staccato. And you did the staccato parts very, very well. Where, in fact, you play everything very well. We just want to get some of the parts just sort of cleaned up, or, like a little bit more, more sound in some of the places. And those places where I would like you to put more sound in are the long notes. So it's mostly staccato, lots of quarter notes with staccato, and then there are a few eighth notes here and there. And there are, not very many half notes. And all of these half note places are where you have like a crescendo and an accent, or you do have to play a lot of these half notes a little bit louder. The only two half notes I guess you wouldn't be playing very loud is measure 4, and also afterwards, a tempo, and then the fourth measure from the a tempo on the after the second ending. So, those are the places where but overall, the half notes, you need to give it a little bit more. So let me play it once through. Actually, and softer. So, that's the accent on the pinky, and this is a hard part because you have to play you have a 3 on the F sharp already high, and then it's an eighth note, and you have to land on the A. And for that, it's really important that you don't wind up playing like this, That's not a good way to make that A louder. It's I guess, I haven't played with a flat pinky in a long time, so I don't really know what it feels like, but so have a nice strong pinky, especially this joint, this knuckle right here, keep it very strong. And, this is one of those things that you get as you play more and more piano with a correct hand position, with a nice tall position, because every time you play middle finger on the black key, you just have to sort of, get your finger propped up a little bit higher, because the bottom of your key suddenly got a lot higher than normal. See, the bottom of your white key is like, half an inch down. When you press down the black key, it's still even higher than the white key top surface when it's not pressed down. So the middle finger has a higher, you have to adjust for that. Because, with a good, oh yeah, didn't I talk about how, imagine holding a big apple in your hand and have a nice curved position. I guess you don't throw balls that way if you play baseball or softball. No, you'll hold it between your fingers, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, imagine holding onto a large fruit in your hand and keep a good height. And when you practice piano with a good height like this, you're going to start to develop good muscle in the palm of your hand. And if you ever, if you want to see how well trained that person is at playing the piano, you look at this muscle here. See, these are the muscles that develop as a result of playing the piano because you are always propping up your pinky higher. So that muscle gets nice and hard and strong. So work on that, and the more you do, the stronger you'll get. So yes, I'll just play from the repeat side one more time, the mill. Okay, so work on those pinky notes. And those two places. And once you get those perfect, then your piece is already sounding good elsewhere. So yeah, keep up the good work. Bye.